Everybody, Samud here, and thank you for listening to the Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance show, giving praise and honor to the great ancestors upon whose shoulders I stand. You know, there's no new information under the sun. Nothing is new, right? We are simply just reclaiming, refashioning, repurposing, repackaging the information and sharing it for the upliftment of those within the sound of our ears and the sound of our teaching. So we give love and thanks and honor to all those great teachers and those ancestors who have gone before and kept this great knowledge intact. Amen. Amen. Ashe. And thank you, God. So today's show, we want to talk to you about strength training, and not just strength training, but exercise. Before I go on, now I want to say hey to my producer. Hey, Flaw.
Hello. What's going on?
Flaw.
Yes.
Is that gray in your beard?
Plenty of.
What is happening in the universe of life? Flaw 700 is getting a couple of grays. Yeah, well, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. I personally am very good friends with Clairol. Hello. Hello, because you gotta get there when you're ready, I think. But always want to celebrate the podcast brothers and the family that help us put this podcast on and deliver it to all of the relevant platforms so that we can share the message as wide as possible. Because when you have a message on your heart and you keep it to yourself, it kind of implodes in you. You just have to try to be obedient and share as best you can. So this week coming up is Mother's Day this weekend. And I don't know, I hope everybody celebrates their mama some kind of way. Personally, I think Mother's Day should be every day, or at least more regular than once a month, because the women in our lives really are the backbone of our existence. And people can talk all the stuff about the patriarchy and the rest of it, but even the patriarchy have mostly women helping them do what they trying to do. So it's a time to celebrate the mother in your life, whether that's an auntie or the neighbor or a good friend, to celebrate the woman, the mother, the person who is nurtured and cared for you, or the people. If you're blessed to have a village of folk who take care of you, which most people are, to celebrate them this weekend coming up. And then make sure you do little acts of kindness for the women in your life as the year goes on, right? Like maybe once a month. Buy a little gift or some flowers, or take them to dinner, or something that is heartfelt and nice from your heart for the person, the people, the women who are caring for you, right? I think that's a great thing to do. I know you're going to do something for your mama.
Yeah, we got something planned. We always have little get-togethers. On Sunday, so we got together, got her a little gift. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna present it to her on Sunday. Have a little family get together.
Yeah. Flaw's mother is like the glue of our family. Every family, I'm going to get to my topic in a minute, but I think we should just have a chat up first this week, right? So in every family, there's usually one or two persons who is the person who organized the family reunion, the person who organized, the family dinners. And if somebody gets sick, there's somebody usually who takes the lead responsibility and charge to make sure that family member is cared for. And Flaw's mama, my sister, is that for our family, and she's always trying to get everybody together. The week before last, last week, we all, like 15 of us, went to go see the Avengers, right? People was like, is these seats taken? Yeah, these are seats. All this shit belong to us. Just, go sit over there, right? Mm-hmm. And we had just about, and again, Flaw. So shout out to my sister Latanda. Lots of love, honey. Pukalata. I put that out there. Lots of love. And then, of course, shout out to my other sisters as well. Love y'all tremendously, as well. And my brother and ... right? On and on. So, a family is very important, and, don't just wait for a holiday, everybody, to celebrate your family. Get together as often as you, can manage and can stand to be around your family. So today's topic, what we want to talk about is the importance of exercise and the importance of including various types of modalities within your exercise, specifically stretching and strength training, right? And so, of course, this talk is for people of any age demographic, but mostly if you are close to 35 and older, getting 40, 50, 55, 60, you really need to begin to incorporate strength training in your exercise routine. And I'm going to explain why as we go further in our discussion today, right? So, exercise. The human body is designed to move. We are not designed to be in a 2x2 or 4x2 or whatever it is, cubicle, sitting all day long. In fact, the American Heart Association has put out information that says sitting is the new smoking, right? And what does that mean? It means if you sit for longer than 8 hours a day, even if you sit 4 hours at a time, you are putting your body in the same health risks as if you smoked a pack of cigarettes a day. I'm going to slow down right here and let that sink in a little bit. If you sit for more than 4 hours, let's say between 3 and 4 hours at a time without getting up, you are causing the same physiological health conditions in your body as if you was going outside with the people on break at work smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. The same cardiovascular illnesses will become prevalent within your physical body from sitting all day like that. And not to mention, if you sit 6 hours, well, it just increases. If you sit, on and on and on. That's the phone at the restaurant, y'all, ringing. And what can we do about that? I did forget to say we was down here at Trenton Prime. Lord have mercy.
Yes, we are.
So, okay, celebrate Trenton Prime. Somebody get the phone. Lord have mercy. So, sitting and then partner sitting with a bad diet, the standard American diet, known as the SAD diet, standard American diet, where it is, no nutrition in the food. Everything is fried or gravied or sauced or, everything I went to one of these Asian buffets against my better judgment, but I did go. And everything out on the buffet has some kind of sauce. Like I couldn't find a leaf without nothing on it. Everything had some kind of sauce, just drenched and slathered all over it, and it was kind of gross, actually. It was just like ill. So couple sitting 3 hours at a time, and then eating, bagels and drinking mocha toca, beam me to the moon, coffees and lattes, and just indulging in a diet that is really, very, very low vibrational energy and very, poor quality. Partner those two together, then you compound your risk for chronic illnesses, high blood pressure, other cardiovascular illnesses, and as well as weight gain, diabetes, of course, because the body's not able to move. You're not really burning off the sugars that is in most of the food that Americans consume now. And then you leave your 8 hour a day job where you've been sitting at least 6 of those 8 hours you've been sitting. Okay, I'll be generous. You've been sitting 5. Let's say you've been sitting 5 of the 8 hours at your job, because maybe you get up and go walk to the copy machine. Nowadays, don't they, can't you make copies from your computer, hit a button, and then have somebody bring it over to you? You just wave your arm out. Come here, baby, bring me that copier,
That is a fact.
You can even send a fax from your computer. You ain't got to get up and walk to the fax machine anymore. So, okay, let's be generous. You've been sitting 5 hours and you've moved some kind of way for a total of 3. Then you're on your way home. The stress of driving and rush hour traffic, compounded with, let's back up a little bit, the stress at the job, the stress around the water cooler. I don't even think people have to get up and go to the water cooler no more. But the stress at the job, the stress of the customers that you may deal with, or even just your coworkers, can provide a lot of stress in your work environment, right? That's why a lot of companies are moving to work-life balance to try to have a healthier workforce. They're providing certain programs that help their workforce stay healthy. Okay, so you've been sitting 5 hours, you move around 3 some kind of way, then you leave your work, you leave the stress and the sedentary lifestyle at work, and then you in your car driving home, however long it takes you to get there. You don't get out the car, but you to go into the restaurant. You pull into the drive-thru, stick your arm out the window, yell at a box, tell the box what you want, roll around in the car. You ain't park the car and walk to the restaurant. You stay in the car and you drive through the drive-thru, get your bag of, I'm going to be frank, y'all, bag of ass. Come on. That's what you just ordered. I know people be like, Mama Yoga, what kind of spiritual lady are you? I'm the kind that grew up in Trenton. Knock it off. Listen, if we can't make these teachings relevant to people's lives, by putting on all these I'm so holy airs, that's not what's up, right? You got to make the information relatable. So you done got your bag of ass from one of these restaurants. And, you are now in the car. You ain't got out the car since you left work. You driving home, you get home, you go in the house, you put your bag on the table, take your stuff off, drop your stuff off. You might kick your shoes off at the door. And what do? You go and sit on the couch. And you're on the couch or in your big, gamer chair or whatever it is. It used to be called the Easy Boy. Now, you got your big reclining chair or your part of your couch that reclines back because you're so stressed out. Your serotonin level in your brain is so low that all you want is comfort. So you got your bag of food that you've ordered from this fast food restaurant that have no nutrition, or maybe you go home and you cook something, but you probably put it in the microwave so you can eat it. It can get done quickly. Again, no nutritional value. And you sit on your couch and you numb out to something on the box. Right? And your body is steady stagnating. What I notice in a lot of these apartment communities, right? I notice couples in the evening out walking. Or, women together out walking, just people, just walking. Even in the winter when the weather isn't too bad, I've noticed mostly in the apartment communities, people out walking. And that's excellent. I think that's an excellent thing to do. There's nothing better for the human body, honestly, than walking. Because that is what we were exactly designed to do. So, but most people have the lifestyle that I just named you. And then as the days, the hours, the days, the months, the years go by, it takes you longer to get out of the bed, your joints hurt, you turn around and you look in the mirror and, you have more than 15, 20 pounds of excess fat and weight on your body. And that excess weight is not only it's not only, unhealthy for you. It is not only aesthetically, for some people, it is not aesthetically appropriate because you can tell when a person is carrying too much weight. Their legs, are often smaller than the rest of their body. That means their leg muscles are not designed to support that kind of weight. I'm talking about somebody who's really, really overweight, right? Diet-induced overweight. Lifestyle-induced obesity and overweight, right? And you are in a state of kind of like a low grade depression. And you're just kind of droning on with no excitement and ambition about your life. You're just in a rut, 9 to 5 rut, do the same thing over and over and over again. Well, if and when a person begins to exercise, your serotonin levels increase, you become more optimistic. You know, you can see you have more energy to do the things, even though you're expending energy by exercising. And when you exercise, it releases growth hormone in the body. And growth hormones is what keeps a person youthful and vibrant and excited about life. It improves your sexual drive and your sexual desire when you exercise, people. Right. And not only that, whatever excess weight your body is carrying, it begins to burn up it begins to use your fat as fuel, exercise. Now, you can exercise and then go and get, 40 grams of sugar in a smoothie. And now you have just, you've dented the progress from the exercise that you're doing by drinking that 40 grams of sugar in a smoothie. Right? So 40 grams of sugar is 10 teaspoons of sugar in 1 cup of a smoothie, or you go to one of these barista coffee places and get you a coffee with whipped cream and the rest of it. But you've worked out now and you get this thing and it has 60 grams of sugar in it, which is like 12 or 13 teaspoons of sugar. You've just kind of reversed the exercise that you did, because now the body has to deal with the insulin spike, which is a fat storing process on the body. All right. Y'all stay with me. I'm talking about exercise here. So we want to exercise, and you want to exercise with a variety of in a variety of modalities. You want to do your cardio, you want to do strength training, and you want to stretch. You want to stretch out the myofascial, which is a sheath, a film or sheath on top of the muscles, on top of the tendons, on top of the skeletal system of the body. And the myofascial is what gets tight when you don't stretch out, when you don't exercise, and when you don't move your body in a way that, that is gets the blood pumping and all of that, right? Even when you do like weightlifting and exercise, the myofascial is going to tighten up around it. So that's why you have to stretch your body out. And we can talk about some ways that you can do that as well. Now, we all understand cardio. Cardio is, anything that gets your heart pumping and moving. And it's good to do cardio. I know a lot of people especially I'm just going to have this comment, right? I see a lot of African American, particularly men, just strength training. Like hardly doing any cardio, but just lifting weights, right? Excuse me. Maybe they did cardio earlier and I didn't see it, right? I'm not the dang on gym police. But I do notice that a lot of brothers are more into strength training than they are into, dynamic and varied forms of cardio. Now I see brothers on the elliptical and on the treadmills, which that's good. But what about Tabatas and Hiit training, where you're doing box jumps and you're doing skis side to side, or you're doing jumping jacks and then burpees? What about those types of cardio? Honestly, I don't really see that. I see other folk doing that, but I see mostly us like on the treadmill or on the elliptical trainer moving that back and forth, right? So, you want to have your cardio, but you want to do a mix of type of cardio. Elliptical trainers and treadmills is some of the worst cardio you could do. Pause. Like what's my boy, Dame Dash, he always say pause in between. I was telling Flaw, now that I'm all on the breakfast clubs, I'm just be watching the Breakfast Club all the time, and sometimes I can follow what they saying, but it's not my generation. But like the whole hip hop culture, as shared by a platform like the Breakfast Club, is informing someone like me who is, not that of that era, and it's good to hear these young people and see these young folk really doing their thing. There's some dynamic people out there doing their thing, and I'm saluting, everyone, right? So I hear people like Dame Dash on the Breakfast Club, and he talk like every other word he be saying pause. Every other word is like da 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 pause, da 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 pause, da da da. What are you saying? Like, I don't know, what is he talking about, Flaw? Every other word pause.
It's hard to explain in today's, with today's sensitive era. So it's hard to really explain without stepping on some toes. But it's just like when a man says something that a straight man shouldn't say. Like, yo, you going to eat that hot dog? Pause. Just use your imagination, stuff like that.
Does it mean stop?
No, it just means that I'm about to eat this hot dog. I'm about to eat this foot long. Like, Subway has the foot long.
Yeah.
So if it's two men talking, two men to say, yo, you got that foot long?
Yeah.
You got to say pause, depending on who you are.
Okay.
Not everybody does that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get me a green book on hip hop speak. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So you want to have varied cardio practices. You want to do your cardio, actually steady state cardio. I was saying that elliptical trainer and the treadmill is the worst type of cardio. That's called steady state cardio, where you are just, doing the same level of exercise for 20 minutes or longer. That's steady state cardio. You haven't created a hill. You haven't increased the speed. You're just at the same level for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Some people are on a treadmill for like an hour and a half. That is the worst cardio for your body. Right? Because the human body was designed to be adaptive. We are designed to stretch and reach and move and twist and roll. We are designed to pick shit up and put shit down. That's what we're designed to do. So if you are just running at the same pace, like a 3.5 or a 3.0 on a treadmill, or you fast walking on a treadmill for 20, 30 minutes, the body doesn't adjust. It doesn't adjust towards making it work harder, which makes it burn more or use more fat as fuel. I hope that makes sense for everyone, right? So you can be on the treadmill as a warm-up for like 10 minutes or on the elliptical as a warm-up using the skis, the handles, as well as, your feet movements for 10 minutes, because that's a good warm-up. It's moving the legs. It's getting all of the muscles. It's got the upper body going and everything. That's perfect. 10 minutes and get off. Right. And then you want to do something like get you a Tabata trainer or a Hiit, high intensity training. Right. Hiit, HIIT training timer or Tabata timer, TABATA. I gave a talk about this about a year or two ago. I've been on this for quite a long time. So I've been talking about Tabatas and Hiit training for several years now, right? So, you can go back and look at some of my other work to get a little more in depth about Tabatas in particular. But you want to just download a Tabata timer. It's usually 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds of rest. You could do 45 seconds of hard work and then do 20 seconds of rest, right? Like that. And so you set it for maybe 8 rounds, which will give you like 4 to 6 minutes of hard Tabata work. And in that time period, your cardio could be jump rope. It could be burpees. It could be box jumps. And it could be skaters, where you kick your legs behind you and you go on side to side like that, like you're on a ski slope, like that, right? That's 4 different exercises that you could do in 6 minutes that will give your body much more benefit than running on a treadmill or an elliptical for an hour and a half. 6 minutes, y'all. This is proven athletic science. Really pioneered, spearheaded, and researched and scientifically documented by Dr. Tabata. That's where the name come from, a Japanese scientist, Dr. Tabata, right? So you want to do those types of exercise. Plan it 3 times. So that's 18 minutes of cardio that your body is like, what is going on? Because you force the body to adapt to an uncertain terrain or uncertain circumstances. The body does not know what it is doing. So it will pull all of its greatest resources, including burning up excess fat, to help you be successful in what it is you're trying to do. Tabatas or HIIT, high intensity exercises. It's lots and lots, millions of videos on YouTube and on Google that you can research and pick up some exercises and do your Tabatas like that, right? And then 1 day a week or twice a week, you want to do some long, steady state. It's okay to do that. That's endurance stuff. So go out and walk. Do fast walk outside, take in deep breaths of fresh moving air instead of, the air that's in like a gym space or whatever. You want to take a nice long walk, or you want to go for a jog if your body can manage a jog, right? Now, right here, I want to say if a person is 20 or 30 pounds overweight, I don't suggest that you jog. I don't suggest that you do a lot of jumping. And here's why. For every pound that you are overweight is 4 pounds on your knees. So if you are 30 pounds overweight, that's 120 extra pounds of pressure that your knees and your joints is absorbing. So when I'm at the gym and I see trainers, somebody that is really overweight, maybe they pushing like 250, 300 pounds, and the trainer's got them doing burpees. What? It's all good. You can maybe have them do 1 burpee, but not like 10 minutes of burpees. You know what I'm saying?
Question.
So, yes, dear.
I'm going to cut you off.
That's all right. Go ahead.
We're talking Tabata. We're talking HIIT. So if you are 100 pounds overweight, ankle-wise,
yep.
What workouts in Tabata do you suggest?
So you can do everything except jump. So you can do jumping jacks. So where you step out wide and your arms go up, step out wide, step out wide, step out wide. The arms are going. You're not jumping. You're taking your feet out wide to the side with your arms up in the air. You can do box steps. You can step up and come down. Step up and come down. Step up and come instead of jumping. All the exercises you can do body squats. And all of these will give you the same cardiovascular, energetic demand on your body as if you were jumping. You don't have to. You can modify them with the Tabata and the HIIT. And in the 20 seconds, I don't usually have my Tabata at 20 seconds because I've built up a bit of endurance. So I do 45 seconds. 20 seconds, I'll be like, what? Is this what? Okay, no, so I make mine 45 seconds and 20 seconds rest, and do it for like 6 rounds or whatever. It gives me the 6 minutes. And then I'll take a 5-minute walk around and relax. No, I don't lift weights or nothing. Just let the body completely relax. And then I'll go back and do another Tabata and do that for 3 different times.
Just one more question. What do you suggest for somebody who wants to do Tabata and lift weights? Do you lift weights first and then Tabata, or do you do Tabata and then use whatever you got left for the weight training? Okay, so when you do a Tabata, it is a lot of energy on your body, right? So if you're gonna strength train, you don't want that to be your heavy day. Okay. You want to do a lighter weights. You don't want like finger curl weights, right? And this is another. Hold on, I got a bitch a moment, right? I see people, particularly women, in the gym with the little pink 5-pound weights lifting. Come on, baby, your pocketbook weigh more than that. And I have to do everything I can. In Chinese culture, they call this having too much heart chi, where you everybody mama and you just go talk to everybody unsolicited, all in people business. Anyway, I'm getting all on a tangent. But you wanna
you want to lift, you want your muscles to experience a difference. So if you're going to do Tabata, you don't want that to be your heavy weight lift day. Like there's a video series that I like to follow on bodybuilding.com, and it's called, oh man, I can't think of it right now, but it is a strength training where they take you through full compound exercises, right? For the whole total body. I mean, you're doing sit-ups with the arm raised and the get-ups is what they call them. You lay flat on your back, keep your arm long, and then get up with a weight in your hand. It's just all kind of, really, really intense stuff. So if you're going to do a Tabata cardio and you want to do weights as well, which is a good idea, I would not make that your heavy weight, your heaviest weight. So say you max out at 25 pounds for bicep curl. Mm-hmm. I would do 15 pounds for the bicep curl for your strength training that day, and more reps. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I answered your question?
Yes.
All right, good. Because you looking, I'm waiting to see if I had answered your question, because you look like you still got most questions. All right.
I've been up since 4 a.m.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is me.
This is you, like, right. All right. So you want to do your Tabata, and if you want to do strength training, which I suggest is a good idea, you can even do Tabata strength training. Hey, now. I would make it go a little longer, because 20 seconds coming around for weightlifting is quick, right? So you can do your full body strength training in a Tabata style, right? So that is, you would have two weights, a weight in each hand, squat down, do a hammer curl as you stand up, and a shoulder press to finish. And you just keep doing that the whole time that your Tabata is going off. And then you rest for 20 seconds and you go back at it, and there's all kinds of combinations that you can do, right? Now, the reason that the science, this ain't just mama yoga, but the reason that the science says that, Tabatas and Hiit is better for the body is because as you get older, you begin to have a more catabolic state in the body. The body is anabolic and catabolic. Anabolic means that your hormones are flooding the body, your youthful energy is up, the body is burning up unwanted, undigested food, unwanted fat. It is really firing on as many cylinders or all cylinders possible. Anabolic is a great state for the body. Catabolic is kind of just like it sounds, right? The body begins to, break down and deteriorate, and degenerate. The joints don't work. You're aching. That's a catabolic state, right? It's a state of decay. So as you get older, we become more catabolic. And when you're doing all these marathons and, hour and a half on the treadmill or the elliptical, you're not benefiting the body at all. In fact, you're sending it the other way. You're causing the body to be in a more debilitated catabolic state. So you want to, particularly as you get older, you want to begin to do your short bursts of cardio, which is the Tabata and the Hiit, and then you want to bring in your strength training. And then after you do your strength training or your cardio, however you set up your schedule, every single day you want to stretch, like every day. I don't know if you're all familiar, but we have a brother named from our community named David Goggins. And when I say our community, I mean the universal black community, right? David Goggins was a Navy SEAL, but before he got to that, David Goggins was 300 pounds, eating donuts and drinking coffee every day, come from an abusive home where his father would beat him, the mama, all the kids, everybody. And all he wanted to do was, he was a pest control employee. And he was unhappy with his life, and he decided that he was going to lose weight. Well, he holds the world record for chin-ups, 4,000 chin-ups in 24 hours. 4,000. Do you hear what I said? he lost all that weight. He has done, I think, something like 50 ultra marathons. An ultra marathon is 100 miles. That's an ultra marathon. He is a Navy SEAL. He went to, what's the training that you have to go to? Hell's Night or something. Hell's Training. He done been through that 3 times. And, you know, he talks about having the mindset, to win. But the other thing that he talks about is stretching the body every day. Like you have to stretch out the body because it gets, you know, tightened up. And you can do that through yoga. You can do that through just a stretch and balance. You can do all kinds of stretching. You can just stretch out your body for several minutes at a time. It's very good for you. So those are the 3 modes of exercise that I suggest you bring to your body. Is that you move away from steady state cardio as your main cardio and do Tabata or Hiit training, and you do strength training. You lift weights lighter on the days that you're going to do cardio and strength training, and then you have a day where you just do cardio and you just do strength. Now, on the days that you just do strength, you want to lift heavy. Don't be scared to pick up a big behind weight. Now I'm saying behind, right? Mm-hmm. Pick up some big weights, especially women. I don't want to look like a man. You are not going to look like a man unless you are taking some kind of steroids and stuff like that, you know, unless you're taking like some serious juice, to where you see women with the big square jaw and women who are all muscular and stuff. Women's bodies don't do that. Those women are on juice. I don't care what they say. I don't care how natty they say they are. A woman's body is not hard like that. That is not how Creator made woman, right? So she's on some enhancement stuff. Right? So you lifting weights ain't going to end up looking, you can lift all the weights you want. You ain't going to end up looking like that, like a dude in a bodybuilding, or even a girl in the bodybuilding. Right? So lift weights, lift heavy, make your muscles work. And as I say, most people's book bags, backpacks, you know, computer bags weigh more than 8 pounds. So your muscles are familiar with that. It's not having no challenge. So you want to lift heavy. Start slow and start gentle. Instead of going from, well, I've been lifting 8 pounds, so now I'm going to try 20. Okay, try 20, do 1 rep, put it down, go take a walk. Try 20, come back, see if you can do 2 reps, put it down, go take a walk. If 1 is your max, then 1 is your max. Drop the weight a little bit, get another 6 reps. You want to be able to lift 6 reps, no more than 6 reps. 6 reps with the weight that you choose. If you just throwing it up, that weight is too light. Challenge your body, and your body will thank you. Your growth hormones will kick in. I don't care how old you are, right? Short of, 95, 100. And you just starting to lift weights, well, your growth hormones is probably all finished. But younger than that, and you start, your body will respond. Your growth hormones will tick up. Your serotonin will become balanced, and you won't have that after 4 o'clock depression or sadness, or just want to sit on the couch, and eat and look aimlessly at television or whatever, or your screen, or stream something, right? So you want to challenge your muscle on a day that you're lifting heavy weights, that you're weightlifting only. Flaw asked if you're doing Tabata and you want to do strength, which do you do first? Well, if you're going to lift heavy, you want to give your muscles the most energy with what you want, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to go the hardest at. So if you want the cardio for that day, then you do your cardio first and some strength training after, or in between. If you want just to lift heavy, I wouldn't suggest that you do a whole bunch of cardio, then go try to lift heavy. Your muscles is going to be tired. They're like, we're not doing all this. So pick whatever you want to give the most energy to, and then do that first. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So strength training, just to round it out, also is good for your bones. It keeps your bones strong. It is good, as I say, for burning off excess fat. The body will use fat as fuel. It's good for your overall body mechanics and to help balance out the body when you strength train. It's good to help decrease the onset of chronic disease. When you strength train, you aesthetically, physically, you look better. You feel better when you lift weights, when you strength train, right? And so, your waistline comes in a little quicker. And not only that, muscle burns more calories and fat. So if you're increasing your muscle on your body, then your body is using more fat for fuel. That is a scientific fact, right? So women particularly, don't be afraid to strength train. Mix it up, do what you can. Just if you're not sure of how to strength train, find a trainer. You can reach out to myself. We can do some meetups and do some strength training. That I think would be exciting. I would like to do that. And just reach out to someone and have them help you understand, how to use compound strength training as well as isometric training as well, okay? And how to combine cardio and Tabatas with your strength and all of that. It's a lot better and good for your body. And then you're exercising not just for, the right now, but you're exercising for the long haul of it. I hope that makes sense for everybody. Now, the other thing I want to say before I close is when you exercise, it's better not to eat or drink sugar-based foods while you're exercising. I see people exercising and drinking Gatorade while they're exercising, or exercising and drinking protein. The body is not going to do both things. Either it's going to burn fat or it's going to store fat. It's going to burn the sugar level, and your growth hormone level cannot function at the same time. So anything that you ingest that increases or releases insulin into the bloodstream, then your growth hormones will not be released. So if you're doing strength training or you're working out, no matter what it is, and then you're drinking a Gatorade, your body is releasing insulin. Right? It's releasing insulin. And so if it's releasing insulin, you don't have growth hormone in your bloodstream, which is what you want, which is why you're working out. So do not drink, do not eat while you're working out. The only people that is not relevant to are people who are running marathons. When you're running marathons, you have depleted your blood glucose levels and your glycogen in your muscles so low, you got to have something. But most of us that are in the sound of my voice is not running no marathons. Your marathon is from the couch to the living room now. So do not eat. My suggestion is don't eat while you're working out, because then you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. And some sciences say you don't even have a protein or anything for 30 minutes to an hour after your exercise, so that the growth hormones that can stay high in the body, right? Because the growth hormones are what is going to build your muscle, what's going to further burn up extra fat on your body, unwanted fat.
So wait a minute. Let's stay there real quick.
Yep.
Because the way they sell protein powders, they tell you take immediately after working out.
Yeah.
So you're telling the people that at least 30 minutes to an hour, you don't need anything.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. If you can manage it. Some people have blood sugar issues, right? If you can manage it, don't eat anything for 30 minutes. The longer you can go without eating or drinking anything that's going to release insulin into your bloodstream after you work out, the longer the body will flood with growth hormone.
So you're telling me that when I was working out and fasting, my workout would be over at 6 a.m. I wouldn't eat till noon. That was a positive.
Well, now for you, how did it affect you? How did you feel about that? How was your body responding to that?
Mentally, I've been trained to think that I need protein immediately.
Right.
So I didn't know if I was feeding the muscles after the workout. So it was a mental thing, because that's what they've been telling us, that you have to immediately digest protein at the workout.
No, you do not.
Okay.
And there's a thing also that if you fast, the body's going to eat up your muscle. It takes the body a lot longer to convert muscle to fuel than it does fat to fuel. So the body is a wise creation. It's not going to go for your muscle first. It's going to go for your excess fat first.
One last thing. I'm now, before we started this podcast, I told you I was the 4 a.m. man.
Right.
And I'm thinking that the hour that I have, the 45 to an hour that I have, I don't have enough time to do everything that I need to do. So now I'm thinking about working out at night. Now, let's say I work out at 9 or 8:30, get done at like 9:30, 10. The best bet is just to go to sleep, shower, and go to bed. No protein,
and get up. So these are some good variables to the point that we're discussing, right? Everything depends on the person's capacity, right? Some people can't go without eating because they have blood sugar concerns, right? You are a young, vital man. You have a lot more muscle on your body than the average woman, than the average man, because you actually have built your muscles up. So for you, you might be able to drink a protein shake without sugars in it, no fruit, no, just protein and water, and go to bed, right? And be good to go, get up in the morning, and be strong and ready for the 4 a.m. dynamic, right? Other people may not be able to work out at night at all. Like, I'm a person, my body doesn't do well. I told you before we started the podcast that I was working out at night and gained 10 damn pounds from working out at night. Wait a minute. What? This is not what's up. I'm a morning person through and through throughout my whole life. So part of what put that weight gain on, and part of what other people may have concerns with or problems with working out at night, is the cortisol level. Your cortisol level rises when you exercise, right? And especially overnight, later in the evening after 6 o'clock, if the body is stressed or it's not rested in a good way, the cortisol level stays up. And then this creates stress in the body, which creates weight gain in the body. And that was why I was gaining weight, because my cortisol level it was being elevated and it wasn't resetting like it should have been resetting. So a person like you might be able to work out at 10 o'clock at night, 9:30, whatever, have a protein or have some, I wouldn't suggest that you eat, although people do it. I mean, I hear people all the time, particularly men, talk about working out at night, and then they'll go have like a steak and some spinach, or chicken and breast and spinach, and then they'll go to bed. Like, I couldn't do that. And a lot of people couldn't do that. So you have to gauge what works for your body. Sometimes a person can work out and they like 30 minutes later, I got to have something to eat. But you have to be mindful when you eat after you work out. You want to make sure that it's not a honey bun. Or that it's not filled with sugar. Because people say, well, I have a protein shake. Okay, you have a protein, but what's in it? There's pineapples, strawberries, blueberries. I put dates in it. I put a little bit of honey. Come on, you got a dang on milkshake. That ain't no protein. So it's too much sugar, so it undoes all of the work that you've done at the gym. You want to have your protein as plain as possible. And then if you want to have a fun protein, like a fruity protein, have that with your chicken breast and, your vegetables. And the reason you want to have it with a substantive food is it slows the sugar down in the body and gives the body a chance to clean up the sugar so it doesn't spike it so high, then causing a weight storing activity in the body instead of a weight burning. That makes sense? Yeah. So we all function differently, but I do see and I notice, that people will work out and then figure like, well, I work out. So, I'm just, I can just have this Mocha Toca 70 grams of sugar thing. you've undone what you've done in the gym. And then people wonder, why am I not making any progress? Why is my body not tightening up? I'm doing the weight training. I'm doing the Tabata. I'm taking long walks. I'm stretching out my body. It's the other component, which is the nutrition, the diet component. So we want to do the best to balance it out as best you can. Nobody's perfect. You just do what you can do the best way that you can do it. Another reason why people don't see results from exercise and working out is because they are having too much alcohol, like they're drinking, like too much, and alcohol attacks the liver. And the liver is the main organ in the body that helps the body metabolize fat on the body. So if a person is, drinking a wine every night with dinner, or, even a harder spirits, the liver takes 3 days from one drink to detoxify the liver. So if you have 3 drinks and your head is spinning and you're all floating, what do you say, faded? I think that's what the kids call it. They still call it that. Faded. It's another thing the kids call it too, right? Bent, ripped, something. I don't know.
Don't give me the line.
You ain't up on it. I see that 4 a.m. sitting in on you. Let me wrap up this podcast. I don't want my producer to be snoring on top of the board. Lord have mercy. I get it though. So anyway, alcohol can be another reason why a person is not getting results. So you want to just, monitor your life. It's your life, people. I'm just sharing information with you. Monitor your life, and see where you can make some adjustments for your greater mind, body, energy, and balance, and health and vitality. I hope this podcast was helpful to you. I have fun chatting about it. Talking about exercise and fitness is one of my favorite topics to talk about. Wait a minute, before we go, we got to talk about this. You see the thing where the trans woman hit the girl in the head and bust her skull? So look, Joe Rogan talks about this all the time. He talks about, Joe Rogan, everybody should know who Joe Rogan is because he's like, a big dude in podcasting. But he's also a MMA commentator, and he's a jiu-jitsu master, or has a brown or black belt, whatever the highest belt is. Anyway, on his podcast, he always talks about, his concern with transgendered men to female fighting or competing in women's sports. And he does not think that is fair. And on the topic of exercise, and, vitality, but in a competitive way, I just saw an article where there was a transgendered woman that is a person who was a man, born biologically a man, and then decided that they was supposed to be a female and had transitional surgery and hormones and all of that to make their persons female, and then competed in MMA sport. What do they call it? A match with a woman, a boxing match with a woman, and a biological woman, and beat her to a bloody pulp. So I thought that was very interesting. I don't know if you keep up with that kind of thing, Flaw.
A podcast that I listened to recently had a topic on. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but that is the talk of the town right now. It was something that I missed, but I did because the question was, should transgenders be allowed to compete in certain sports? Now, for me, I saw an example a while ago where I think this young lady or young man identify as something different now. So when they went to wrestle the girls, they were so jacked up on testosterone. Yeah. They won every match. Yeah. So it becomes unfair. So it's just like, you don't know what to do. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's, I have a lot of comments about that would probably get my podcast shut down.
So,
be flooded, We have all kind of situations. I mean, I'm all for humanity and everybody's humanity. I just am. But I don't know how level and fair that is. If y'all have some comments about it, you can leave the comments. Let's,
It could be crazy because even though she was jacked up with the testosterone, she still might not be ready to wrestle with the boys.
Yeah.
But then you can't wrestle with the girls because they have no test. Like,
So wait a minute. So this was a biologically born female who transitioned to male and tried to compete with the males in wrestling.
Of course, the athletic committee wouldn't allow her to. So she had to, if she wanted to wrestle, she had to wrestle girls. Now you're jacked up, right, and you're just winning every match, and it's just like
against the females. But she was biologically female, who was transitioning to male, but on testosterone.
Yeah,
I see. So why can't they wrestle and fight and them each other?
If it's enough of them,
I mean, why can't they have their own like Olympics? Right? We have like the Special Olympics.
I think that's a good idea.
Why can't look here? Don't be sending me no emails and texts about.
It's too caught in the middle.
Yeah,
probably not ready for the men.
Create your own stuff.
You're probably not ready for the boys, but you're too powerful for the girls.
Yeah. And a man who transitions to a woman and then fights a woman. I'm with Joe Rogan on it. I just am. It has been shown over and over. He beats the crap out of that girl. Now, a woman can beat a man through technique, right? If a woman know how to box and a dude don't, she can whoop his ass, right? But we talking about sheer strength, So, I mean, it's just interesting, It's just these topics are very interesting. The Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance show is not really about judging anybody or, having any personal opinions about people's choices. But these are topics that are in the popular media when it comes to fitness and vitality and exercise. These are things that, we can touch on and have some intelligent conversations around, back to the topic at hand. Exercise, everybody, and do some strength training, stretch your body. And thank you for listening to the Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance show. Leave us a review on iTunes and Apple Music. You can also get us on Google Music. Is that right? Google Music?
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, now on Spotify, YouTube, and yeah.
All right. That's what it is. You got it. We're going to put all that in the show notes as well. And you can leave us a comment and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening. Peace and love. Peace and love. Samut with the Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance show here. And just a quick reminder, any of the information and views shared by the guests on Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance are for information purposes only. Do your own research, people, and check with your healthcare provider if you find something we've shared interesting and you want to look into it. Thanks for listening, and peace and love.